So my second fear was everybody will leave at 12. So please don't leave. We have a couple of things to do. First, we have award ceremony for talented younger people, so who should come on the stage. We have some gifts for them and awards. And then after that, we'll go for lunch. After lunch, we have a panel discussion. And then there is Kag Adnan Karim is here. We will then start master classes. The master classes, people have registered to those master classes. They are different places. The health will be here. Some others will be in other places. We have people who are going to do some presentation, discussion. It's primarily for people who are specialized in the field. We don't go. 4 o'clock we'll finish. We've spent a lot of time preparing this for you. Don't think this was easy. So please appreciate it. Still, stay till the end with us if you can. Where are the talented younger people? They are coming. By name. Yeah. Thank you. So these, Dr. Ammar. Yeah. Where is Dr. Deiary? So these.
عندنا هدية مين؟ هاي الهدية من وين؟ هاي من وين هدية؟ دكتور
فعندنا اشياء اثنين لكم، واحده من البروفيسور ضياء، واحده من مؤسسه المدى الدكتوره غاده. اليوم عندهم فد شيء عائلي فما يقدرون، يعني ما قدرت تجي، بس نيابه عنها التيم مالتي راح يقدمون الهدايا، بينما الشهادات التقديريه راح يقدمها البروفيسور ضياء لكم. زين تفضل.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for staying. I mean, I really enjoyed what I listened to my colleagues and my friend. By the way, I've got your book. I want you to sign it for me, please. So, on behalf of the Prime Minister of Iraq, actually, I am going to present a certificate to our young, talented Iraqis who have basically won prizes in Dubai. We had a competition, and the competition, it was world competition, and they had done really well. So what I'm going to do, we're going to do two things. Professor Deiary going to give the gift, which is coming from a family, and I'm going to give a certificate on behalf of Sayyid al-Sudani, basically رئيس وزراء دولة العراق. So the certificate is not from me, the certificate from دولة الرئيس. فنبدأ مع منو؟ نبدأ مع منو؟ Can I have the certificate, please? And Dr. Ammar, give me the name one by one. الطالب رضا مهدي. الطالب عمر محمد. الطالبة سما طه. الطالبة أروى زيد. You can tell Dr. Deiary can do a better job than me. He's very organized. I am very unorganized. That's the problem. He's a doctor and I'm an engineer. So I'm supposed to be. We are just putting the name now to the Ayman. والصغيرة جميلة ستيلا. Before we go away, I mean, he tried to get away with something. We have a special gift for Dr. Deiary. I am very proud to say, on behalf of the Minister of Iraq, I'm going to thank Professor Deiary for his effort to do this beautiful conference and to bring distinguished leaders in the field to do this conference in Kurdistan. I'm very proud to be here, and I would like to present him with a certificate on behalf of the Prime Minister of Iraq.
بس فاينلي قبل الغداء before lunch فاحنا راح نعطيهم هدايا من مؤسسة المدى. الأستاذ فخري كريم والدكتورة غادة هم اللي قدموا هاي الهدايا، بس هم ما قدروا يجون، فاحنا نيابة عنهم راح نعطيهم الهدايا زين، وهم ناخذ وياهم صورة، فراح يقدموها كويار وآكار. وين آكار؟ رايت. أولا
الطالب رضا مهدي خضير.
نعم.
الطالب عمر محمد خضير. الطالب أيمن عمر. الطالب ستيلا نور متي. الطالبة سما طه. الطالبة أروى زيد عبد الوهاب.
جورج باس. ثانك يو، شكرا لكم، استمروا بالإبداع. زين تفضلوا على الغداء. فرمون بو خواردن للسروية باشا حميدان راوة. Please welcome to lunch, and please stay with me. Panel discussion, and then we will start we'll have some musical performance by my friend Adnan Karim. He's outside still, people taking photos with him. He's more celebrity than any of us. So the panel, it's more of I ask them questions, they will try to answer in according to their field. So I'll start by asking every one of them. We're waiting for Professor Dia and Dr. Sigat, yeah? And Dr. Abir is here. Excellent. So I'll start anyway. So my first question, we looked at your questions. There weren't many questions. So my first question would be, I think you will be all interested to know how the faculty use AI in their field and in their day-to-day life. So I'll start with Professor Song and see how does he use it. It's a quick answer. What are the things you use in AI for in your life?
Yeah, so I'm very much a ChatGPT person by now. So I do use ChatGPT a lot. But then the message I want to get out there is, I think for seasoned people like us, who has been in the profession for a long time, I think we can find out, we can figure out what's good and what's bad, and then to also to polish it in the way that we want. And then for the younger generation, I'll think maybe avoid using ChatGPT a lot in everything you do until you have a style that you can adhere to in your profession. So that's for me.
Yeah, thank you very much. If you just pass the microphone to Dr. Ali.
Thank you very much. As an academic, I feel that it's an obligation or commitment from my side to be familiar, because my colleagues and students, they could ask me, but I'm working on daily basis on ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, Gemini, Claude. All of them are kind of AI assistant. Usually for research, it helps me to find out the latest information about certain research. As an academic, it helps me to, for example, find out if I would like to learn about a new topic, it's a good start. However, I don't trust them 100%. You've seen Chris. I've been training him for 4 months now, and today he disappointed me because of the Wi-Fi. Anyway, I will blame him later on. But we can't trust these tools 100%. We have to, as a human, we have to make sure about the information they provide, and we can't rely. And we have to share this information with the student. Don't rely 100% on them. It's a good start, but as a human, we need to put our thought on that. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you very much. I'll be slightly different. I think we use ChatGPT for ourselves, and maybe sometimes I use it to check whether some of the work that students have done is from them or others. But what I would like to leave you with is something slightly different. I would like to think that the time I spent developing AI applications helped me in how I deal with problems, in life's problems. Because one characteristic of AI systems, they work with uncertain and incomplete knowledge. And when we are faced with a problem or a difficult situation, we only have part of the information, not all of it, and the part we have, some of it is uncertain. How do we come out of that with a solution that works? I'd like to think that in my personal life, AI has helped me to develop that thinking and refine it.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So, as I described in my keynote, at the Institute for Legal Transformation, we use different AI applications very often and very much, because for us lawyers, like we work with words and language, and since we have very much advanced large language models in different languages, we can use them easily. So we train GPTs ourselves for a certain topic we want to work on. So I can train it, I can feed it with data, and so I can pass it on to my colleagues or my assistants, and they have all the information they need. So I outsource kind of my brain to them, and I clone myself into a Dr. Abir personality and a GPT, and they take it over. The same I do for my students. Dr. Ali mentioned students. The same I do for my students when I teach at the university. I create also all of the data I use to teach them, and the questions they need to train also for their exams. We train the model with it, and I give it to them through our website, and my students can then train with the models and prepare themselves for the examination. So they will approach me less, they will write less emails to me, and will ask me less questions because I can give it all to them, and I can train the model in a way that it talks like me. So this is just one example of how I use it.
Doctor, just in case some people have missed the question was, what do you use? What are the applications of AI in your day-to-day life, and then professionally? Which one do you use? What do you use it for? Yeah.
Actually, let's talk about education. I do counterattack what we have from the student. The student, they use ChatGPT to write their assignment. So what I do, I reverse engineer it. I have now a technique where I use similar to ChatGPT. Well, I'm not going to say anything about it because I think Kamal will know about it. So what I know from the student, if the student have wrote the work or not. And that's very important. That's in terms of education. Let's talk about my own discipline. In terms of medicine, in terms of the job, what is Professor Deiary working on. Actually, there is two things. There is long-term and short-term. Short-term, I'm working at Walton Center in Liverpool. We are working on something called shunts, which is we use it when we have something called hydrocephalus. Hydrocephalus, people who it's not doing medicine, it is the pressure on the brain. When the liquid on the brain it doesn't have the valve, which is generated by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is get blocked. So what they do, they put a little valve And then slowly, that valve become like electronic valve. They call it shunt. What we did, we have changed the shunt to become intelligent shunt using AI. That's one thing. For the long term, what I'm doing, I'm working on something we will need in the future, all of us, which is Alzheimer, or when you start forgetting things. I'm developing for my own things, for my own self, for myself.
Thank you.
Because I start forgetting to the point, Dr. Abir, all the time say to me, you're forgetting this, don't do this, why don't do this? So, and we decided as a team to work on intelligent memory to support human memory. That means we were discussing with one of my colleagues yesterday, the taxi driver who took me from home to the airport. He said to me, what do you do? I said, well, I work with AI, data and all that. I said, I don't like you at all. I said, why? No. He said, no, sorry, sir. It's not as a person. He's Liverpoolian, so he's very open. He said, not you. The people working on data, you know about on data. You record everything since you were born. I said, yeah, this is the bad thing. But the good thing, we can reverse it. How do we reverse it? We can, look. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks. There's a مشكلة لما تسأل professor a question, he would never stop. That's it. All of us are like that. Right, Afwan. Yeah, please.
Thank you.
Mo.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure actually to be here. This is my first time in Erbil.
You're most welcome.
And I would love to thank and acknowledge all the efforts made here by the organizer, Dr. Deiary.
Thank you for coming.
So what I'm really thinking here when it comes to the artificial intelligence, I am using artificial intelligence for applicable solutions. Heavily invested my expertise in order really to integrate that with the applied science, where we revolutionize the agriculture. I was listening to the early presentation in the morning, how could we use as the civilization started from this region and the entire of Iraq. So we really integrate artificial intelligence to formulate a specific natural ag solution where we convert sand, just any sand, any desert sand, into more to fertile soil. This is really, once you use this solution, and I will dive into details in the business masterclass at 3 o'clock in Nowruz Hall, you will see how beautiful artificial intelligence can be used in this. This is one of the application by applicable solution. Just transfer the knowledge to action. Number two, I am also integrating artificial intelligence in order really to capture the carbon emission where you could easily identify and create a huge carbon market in the United States and elsewhere. This could be definitely also very useful to this, to Iraq. The third things, in the health, I am heavily using artificial intelligence with a number of 2 different industries where you could, utilize that in order really to analyze real data in real time that produce a huge amount of data, large data set, but you cannot analyze it unless you have the right, way to analyze it. And this is one of the things also. In the health, I use it also for cancer therapy, but it has really related to radiation, where we have a kind of a pencil beam, just radiate the damaged cell in order really to kill it and treat it. So this is my
Wonderful.
advice.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Excellent. So I have another round of questions. I'll start with Professor Song. Professor Song, you are very big on democratizing AI. When we were planning this conference, the first thing he discussed with me is democratizing AI. That's why that has become our logo. So you have to explain what does that mean and what are your concerns for the future?
Well, thank you very much. So I'm very much a believer, and also, I want to see myself as a very strong driving force behind democratizing AI. So in my view, democratization happens on two fronts. One is democratizing access. So i.e., how can everybody get access to all the leading AI technologies without a paywall? And then the second thing is democratizing the technology. So how do we ensure the technology that we develop, they can be put out there for free, and they can be easily understandable by everyone. So I think the central message is actually on people. So what people means, people from different walks of life, different countries, different cultures, different religions, they need to gain equal access to AI. So this is what I meant by democratization AI. Because if we don't do that, the failure is it's going to create boundaries. And those boundaries will get worse and worse, and then to a point where then it's not reversible. I think we're already seeing a lot of that now. A lot of the latest AI that are controlled by very few big techs, multinationals, mainly from the US. And then we use ChatGPT. We mentioned that we all use it to some extent for the good and the bad. But then everybody needs to realize, look, ChatGPT is very Western-driven technology.
Prof, I have another question. So I'm very much concerned about the monopolization of this technology. Do you think my concern is justified? Do you think my concern about these big tech companies are going to shut down all the open sources is justified?
Yes, I totally think so. And I think people say, look, there is a big data era, there's 5G, and then yes, so they come and go. But then the problem is, it's the same companies that's been riding those waves. So they're all grown, they've accumulated your data, and obviously they're business, they make money. So what they want to do is really to commercialize your data as much as possible. So yes, I think I'm concerned, but then obviously as non-profit organizations, universities, research institutions, our job is to make sure that the development don't go that direction. So, education is one important way. And obviously, like I said, this push, collective push, that everybody's aware of the problems and try to address it.
Yes, thank you very much. So my next question is to Dr. Ali, who is an expert in cybersecurity. Given that we are going through this digital transformation in Iraq, especially in the financial system, how ready are we for any attack of any sort on our data?
Thank you very much, Dr. Deiary. In one word, we are not ready, but in order to be ready, we are 40 million, and we do need 40,000 person in Iraq to work as a developer in AI, cybersecurity, and data science. And we need to start from the early stages, 10 years old to 18. We have to train them properly for the future. And the current people who are studying in the universities as well, we have to take care of the curriculum. I'm working with a university, with other Iraqi university, but we need more work on that. And the other thing, it's the graduates and the employers, we have to teach them. The cyber-human factor, it's a problem because we are the weakest link. I mentioned in my talk, we need a cybersecurity awareness course in Arabic or Kurdi, in Arabic and Kurdish, because we are talking to non-technical people. We have to teach them the danger of action in using the internet incorrectly, or because the danger of that, because they are not aware. Remember COVID, and people, doctors, they did their best to teach us how to react on this virus. It's the same. Education, it's important. I would like here to mention that Iraqi investors, they focus on developing concrete and other things and forgot the capacity building of human. And they are a little bit جبناء في
على كيفك
yeah. Yes, they are جبناء. They wouldn't like to invest in people, but in bricks, because it makes money easy in the short term. They have to invest in the long term, because people, they can get money out of these 40,000 people which they work in. Look at India as an example. They have massive human resources and they utilize it efficiently. China as well. We are 40 million, and I think this is an initiative. It's a good idea to have this AI initiative from the morning from the ambassador Sinjari, and I really support that. And hopefully that goes in Iraq. And I think Dr. they are already doing something. I'm happy to help on that. We need 40,000 people to train, and we need investors for that.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So my question for Professor Kamal is about education. I'm fascinated by the concept of personalized education and also, of course, personalized medicine. For years, I've been struggling with the concept that we are assessing everyone by the same tool, and we're assuming that everyone has the same ability. We are, and I'm sure that we have certain level of dyslexia, possibly most people. And some of us are good at maybe MCQs or essays. Some others are not. And the tools of assessment has been pretty much the same for everyone. So can you tell me what are the current usage of AI in the educational system in the UK, whether it is the higher education or undergrad?
Thank you, Dr. Deiary. I'll start with the general, and then I'll come to the specific question of supporting people with special needs. In the UK, as I'm
sorry,
sure...
just can I clarify? I don't think I'm somebody who have a special needs. I struggle with writing an essay, so I don't know whether you regard me as dyslexic or special needs. So I was just saying, in general, there is evidence that people who there are some students cannot do MCQs even if their life depended on it. We assess them by the same tool, and where they may not come out as the most successful, in that area, but in reality is they might be intelligent in a different field.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. I have just been told off and been told to use the right words, and Dr. Deiary is absolutely spot on. It's not about special needs, correction. It's about different ways of learning. And we have within the university where Dr. Ali and myself worked before, people who are extremely clever. And one of them is my student, my PhD student. And one day I told him, Jonathan, you're doing all this work. You are the one who's doing the work. I'm not helping, because you know better than me in this place, and the way you think is just mind-boggling. This person is down as having 6 different disabilities. Cognitively, he is extremely smart. He said, you may not be the expert, all working, and they have developed guidance, procedures, processes to support people, whether they are educators, learners, or institutions. So, and within the universities, different groups of universities, we have a group called the Russell Group University. This is the old universities. They developed their own guidance and their own principles. Again, one of those is how do we support people to learn in the way that suits them best. And some of the tools that are developed by some of these universities. Other tools exist already. Personal assistants, which the learner can use them to learn at their own pace, making the most of their own strengths and compensating for weaknesses where there are weaknesses. So they use these assistants in their own time to get the knowledge, and then they go to the classroom working with other students, and then they are at the same level prepared to start working on experiments and problem solving where they learn the most. Because what they learned from the assistant is more to do with existing knowledge. What they learn from each other is knowledge creation and new ideas and new thoughts. I'll
Wonderful,
stop there.
really wonderful. Thank you very much.